Hello and welcome to the Friday edition of IPR Department's e-News Bulletin. I'm Chiring Eden. Let's look at some of the news making headlines this week. As per the latest update on COVID-19 figures provided by the State Health Department, a total of 12 positive cases were reported on Thursday. This takes the total active cases to 545, total cured and discharged to 2,569, cumulative total stands at 3,246. A total of 52,043 tests have been conducted and 52 persons have died so far. It was informed that one more new COVID-19 death was recorded in the state. An 82-year-old female resident of Barmek, South Sikkim, was brought dead to STNM hospital at around 4:15 p.m. on Thursday. She was referred from District Hospital Namchi after reporting positive for COVID-19. She was also an asthmatic patient. On Thursday, Chief Minister Prem Singh Tamang launched the Sikkim Garib Awaz Yojana and Chief Minister's Garib Awaz Yojana at Manan Kendra. The program was organized by the State Rural Development Department. Sikkim Garib Awaz Yojana is an initiative of the state government to facilitate housing for poor and to improve the quality of life by providing basic amenities. A total of 100 beneficiaries from each constituency will be benefited under the scheme. The house will be constructed at an estimated cost of Rs 17,51,000. It will be a single-story RCC structure which will consist of a living room, 2 bedrooms, a front porch, toilet along with furnitures and a television. During the program at Manan Kendra, one beneficiary each from 32 constituencies were provided with allotment order for Sikkim Garib Awaz Yojana. Subsequently, beneficiaries were also provided with the first installment cheque of Rs 20,000 for house upgradation during the program. Likewise, allotment orders for GCI seats were also handed out. Similarly, Chief Minister's Garib Awaz Yojana, which is another scheme, will be a RCC framed structure with GCI sheets, roofing over tubular steel truss and brick wall partition. The Chief Minister in his address informed that the Chief Minister's Garib Awaz Yojana has been envisaged as an immediate relief to the senior citizens who are staying without any immediate support of family members. It was also informed that the state government is planning to bring the scheme for urban settlers under Garib Awaz Yojana in the near future. With the launching of the Jan Andolan campaign on COVID-19 appropriate behavior by Prime Minister Narendra Modi through Twitter on Thursday, the state IPR department carried out a few activities to finally start the campaign in the state. It may be informed that IPR department has been designated as the nodal department to spearhead the campaign in coordination with the other departments and media organizations. Secretary IPR department Namrata Thapa administered the campaign pledge to all the officers and staff of the department at the office premises, duly maintaining COVID-19 protocol. Campaign poster in English and Nepali languages was also launched. The Secretary in a video message appealed to the people from all walks of life to join hands with the government in educating and informing each other on the appropriate behavior to be followed by all in our collective fight against COVID-19. The state government has consistently been on campaign mode since April 2020, educating and orienting people on the various aspects of COVID-19. All the line departments and stakeholders have been advocating on safety norms established for the people from time to time. The IPR department will be simultaneously running the campaign in the state as per the guidelines prescribed by the Government of India. As Sikkim is preparing to welcome the tourists from 10th of October, let's look at some of the important points from the standard operating procedures issued by the state's tourism department. The SOPs for phase-wise Sikkim tourism reopening have been slightly revised. In the earlier SOP issued by the tourism department, a tourist needed to have a COVID-19 certificate issued 72 hours prior to arrival from a lab or hospital certified by Indian Council of Medical Research. As per the revised SOP, a tourist must possess a valid COVID negative certificate issued within 72 hours prior to date of Sikkim arrival. The mandatory COVID negative certificate can be from any lab or hospital and not necessarily from those accredited with the ICMR. However, only RT-PCR and TrueNat test results accepted and not the results from rapid antigen testing, as rapid antigen testing can give false negative report. The first phase Sikkim tourism reopening is only for domestic tourists and foreign nationals residing in India having a valid visa. As per the guidelines, the tourist must compulsorily register in the Sikkim Tourism web portal before travelling to Sikkim. The copy of travel card issued on the basis of tourist registration should be carried by the tourist at all times of travel in Sikkim. All tourists coming to Sikkim must be pre-booked with the accommodation units and travel agents or tour operators impaneled with the Sikkim Tourism Department. Persons above 65 years of age, persons with comorbidities, pregnant women and children below the age of 10 years have been advised to either avoid completely or limit their travel. As per the guidelines, all accommodation units for tourists must comply with existing COVID guidelines and register with the Sikkim Tourism web portal. The hotels and accommodation units have been instructed not to take any reservation from tourists who are not registered. The hotels have also been directed to prepare at least one room for emergency isolation for emergency management of any suspected cases. Similarly, the travel agents and tour operators have to upload the guest details in the web portal for every tour. It has been informed that the Tourism Department will be forming enforcement teams to monitor whether the tourist hotels and tour operators are following COVID-19 protocols or not. Veteran Indian politician Ram Vilas Paswan, a federal minister and an ally of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's ruling coalition, died on Thursday after weeks in hospital. He was 74. Paswan, India's Minister for Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, was admitted to a hospital in New Delhi on September 11th and underwent heart surgery on October 4th. In his role as Food Minister, Paswan oversaw the world's biggest food welfare program, under which the government gives cheap rice and wheat to India's millions of poor people. In his long political career, Paswan worked with many prime ministers and served as India's Mines, Steel and Telecommunication and Information Minister, among other portfolios. As the chief of the Lok Jan Shakti Party, Paswan joined Modi's right-wing NDA that swept India's general election in 2014. Paswan and his party represented India's Dalits, a socially disadvantaged community. Many leaders, including our Chief Minister, have expressed grief and sadness over the Union Minister's untimely demise. India recorded 70,496 fresh cases of coronavirus and 9,064 deaths in the last 24 hours, taking the total number of COVID-19 cases to 69 lakhs as per the Health Ministry data released this morning. A total of 78,365 people also successfully fought off the viral disease over the last 24 hours, bringing down the overall active cases to almost 13% of the total caseload. The good news today is that active COVID-19 caseload falls below 9 lakh for the first time in a month. According to the government figures, the total number of active cases stands at 8,93,592 and there have been 1,06,490 total deaths. India's recovery rate increased marginally to 85.5%. Death rate stood steady at 1.5%. That is all we have for today. Please like and follow our Facebook page. That is the official page of Government of Sikkim for the most authentic news and information on recent developments in the government and the state. Thank you for tuning in.